Motion. Okay, so. Welcome, everyone. We haven't met since May. Rochelle, you can still hear us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just wanna make sure. Because last time we had some technical difficulties, okay. So attached is our May minutes, if anyone has had any chance to review those and wants to make a motion, or if they have any comments.
Move we accept minutes from our May meeting.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so really quickly, I just wanted to talk about, the upcoming state policy committee meeting that, Mayor Allen chairs for us. We meet twice a year in like March and September, so that's coming up. The AOG staff has been meeting with the state to talk about some things that we want to talk about at the state policy meeting. And I just wanted to, bring those to you guys, see if you have any comments or input. Before we talk about that, nothing will be final, of course, until we meet with them, but,
With some of this federal money frozen, that gonna affect us.
not right now that we know of, but, you know, things are changing every day, so we're just holding on for dear life.
Okay.
So we're trying to think of ways where we can make the application process easier. Some of us know all too well how difficult it is, and it has not been made easier by new staff at various places. Remain unnamed, just, you know, working differently, you know, so how can we make them easier? So currently, you're required to post on the public notice website and the newspaper. That is no longer even a state law, and so we're going to recommend that we comply with state law and get rid of the newspaper posting. It would just be on the website. And then maybe just like paring down the web grants application, so it's not so much information about. And then if you move to the next phase of the application, then we can get those details, but for the initial one, you know, like. You're putting in so much work and so much effort to not even guarantee get funding out of that, and so maybe paring down the initial application. And then like building up the secondary application after that. And
I really couldn't understand, she says that she couldn't unlock something.
then,
Of course, she waited till the last day, so, I mean, I don't. Then I find out now she's moving from town.
yes,
What couldn't she unlock?
I guess she couldn't log into her account,
On the,
the web grants
Oh.
account, yeah.
right?
And then I think the one that will make a big difference is that we're gonna propose a new timeline, so currently. The application is open until January 31st. The How to Apply workshop's held in the fall, and then. Thanksgiving happens, and then Christmas happens and everything, and then the 31st, so, and not a lot happens, you know, in fall, unless we need to do like an income survey or something like that, so. And then additionally, you know, if you're awarded funding, you find out in like February, March, April. But then the contract, if it's on time, doesn't come until July. Oftentimes, you know, our contract from HUD is late, and then our state contracts are late. And so you're not actually being able to spend money until like September or something, you know, so then like your bids are really out of date. So we're hoping that we can move the application deadline back a month, so it would be February 28th instead of January 31st. Give people a little bit of time to come back from the holidays and remember what it is that we do and do their application. And then that would move the second application back from May to June. And then your bid would be at least 1 month newer than it would be at the time.
Then the grants would be awarded when, July 8th still.
Yeah, I mean theoretically,
That-
like
that
that's when we're
funding
supposed to,
cycle.
it's when we're supposed to get our contract from HUD. And get all of our money, and then that's split up through the all that grantee.
So realistically, you wouldn't be able to do anything that year. Because you're not. Unless you already have bids from your construction companies and stuff.
The timing of the funding would be the same, it would just allow applicants to, a little bit more time after the new year. So much gets lost between the how to apply workshop and like January when the applications due, so another thing that's been kind of floated around is, so you do your how to apply workshop still in the fall. And then come January, you kind of hold like a application workshop where people can come with their laptops, open web grants and kind of like have a workshop where like
That's wonderful.
we're all sitting there, I'm there, you ask questions, you upload stuff while we're there, we go through it all, so.
That's,
Christie, are these ideas and concerns throughout the state, or is it just our group here that suggesting that?
It's come up in conversations with all the AOGs, or at least a handful of the AOGs, yeah.
So to be united like that, the state would have to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, and the state's been involved in those working groups and I think they're amenable to
Likely to
that.
move forward then.
Yeah,
So Christie, let me ask you, so the date we're really working around is the date we receive our money, which is July. Is that what you said? First of July, end of July, what is that?
fiscal year starts July first,
Oh,
yeah.
fiscal year, okay. Well, that's when, see that makes it tough because, well, it always has made it tough.
well, yeah, I mean, we're not gonna be able to get some of that year, it'd have to be the next year.
Well, but then you can't finish half your project
Oh,
to reapply. Right?
Mm.
It just makes it hard. I mean, we do it.
I mean, it's like pulling teeth to get anyone to bid out as far as I am. And so by the time I do a bid, advertise and get a bid, the engineering work, I mean, then it's September, people say, well, it's coming winter, we
Yeah, we can't do
we're not
the
gonna pour
work.
down any asphalt in winter, so.
Right.
So we'll do it first next spring and then all of a sudden we're, I guess we could still, but then it maybe. If you got it, then you could add that extension grant to it, so.
yeah, there are talks also about, like having some sort of consultant or engineer on retainer.
Oh, that would be
For
wonderful.
Communities like yours, which is really prevalent in like the southern part of Utah, where they've got those tiny towns, they run into the same issue. And so that'll be something that we talk about as well.
But John, would this timeline help or hinder what you're trying to do?
Well, the money's coming at the same time anyway.
Yeah, the money's
so-
coming at the same time,
So it doesn't
so.
matter. I love not having to have it due until the end of February, because that gives you really get back into things. First part of January and all of a sudden it's, oh, we have this due on the 31st.
But when will the date, so then when will the grantees be awarded, when will they know? So that they can start this process,
Yeah,
so that's gonna set that back.
well, we would have to, I mean, it's up to us when we want the how to apply workshop, in my mind, we would still have the how to apply workshop at the same time. So you can start income surveys and things like that, 'cause that
Right,
takes
okay.
longer.
Okay,
Well, is there any way, just throw this out, that you have the how to apply workshop like in August and then have it due before Christmas?
Have the, which do, the application due before Christmas? The state controls the application,
Okay.
so the website, they have it, self-destruct,
How to apply
75
in
p.m.
October then.
Yeah, but I mean, we have discretion to say like we already right now, like if you want WFRC's review before you submit your application, it needs to be finished by January 15th. It doesn't disqualify if you don't, but it's like, well, I can review it after that, so like that kind of thing.
Well, I love that one day workshop where people can just come in and say, okay, Christie, what do you think? Is it, can I add to it, take away? What do I need to do?
Yeah,
Help me log in.
Yeah.
And so we haven't done this.
yeah, but what I'm kind of asking is, right now, you've shown us the results right here,
oh, right, yeah.
and when would we let those people know officially? When does the state review those, and then when do we now let those people know officially?
The state currently reviews mid-February, early March on those.
Right.
So I have my review with them in 2 weeks, I think, from today.
Okay.
And so that would also be pushed back a month.
Yeah, so then you're losing a month for that group to get ready and to, because at that time, can't we get our engineering done and get everything done and be ready June or for July 1 and start going, or isn't that what we're running into, is these crazy deadlines with engineering and
So the way, and I'll just use Washington as an example, like you guys have an engineer on,
Right,
and so you don't go out for competitive bid until we let you know, hey, you made it through this first round, like start reviewing your second application, which is due in May. And it's so for you guys, it's in between like March and May when you're doing your competitive bid, so that your competitive bid is as close to the July date as possible, so that it's like not gonna change drastically. So, it would, instead of having from like March to the end of May to do that, you would have like mid-March, end of March until the end of June to do that. So it just moves everything out 1 month, so
okay,
the timeline between each step would be the same, except for you would have an extra month between the how to apply workshop and the initial deadline.
okay, month later.
Yeah.
Month later, get you that money anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So that is kind of the big update there.
We will be discussing that next month,
Mhm,
okay. Okay.
yeah. Okay. So, as you guys remember from last year, each year we update our annual action plan. It's part of our 5-year consolidated plan. This year, we have the pleasure of updating both with the end of our 5-year consolidated plan. So our annual action plan, updates what we have currently going on in this program cycle. And then the 5-year plan is what's changed in the last 5 years. So there's a lot of updates to, the population, income. I would say the biggest thing that I noticed in updating the consolidated plan was the pricing of everything. Our average income went up a lot, but so did the price of homes and things like that. So, just looking at a lot of inflation in
You
there.
compile the information, is that your effort to put all this together?
Yeah,
Is what the,
that's a lot of, scanning the internet.
lot of hours put into it, yeah.
Yeah. So,
So what are we talking about? What are we talking about now? Can we
just
talk about this one right here? I have a couple questions.
absolutely, yeah, actually, let me do it.
The smaller one. The
The annual,
consolidated plan, 125 annual action plan.
Yes,
Okay, I got one typo, I did read this year. Page 5, Christie,
correct,
way up on the top, it says $1 million, you got $2 signs, big deal. In the top.
oh.
paragraph. I mean,
It's a lot of money,
I mean, not a big, it just caught my eye.
to emphasize.
Yes, no, that's great.
But what I'd really like to look at is under
It almost
affordable.
looked like 51 million.
Well, okay, let's vote on that.
Yeah, right.
So what I'm really concerned about is the affordable housing on page 7. And and then I go to page 11, 10 and 11. And you've got, there's a paragraph there at the end of page 10. Cities should continue to update and report on their moderate income housing plans. Do all this. The state has multiple resources to be used to help cities prepare and update their plan. Refer to table 2 for affordable housing barriers and solutions. And this is one that I'm real concerned about. If you go to table 2, which is on page 11, my community is built out.
Mhm.
And we've done everything we can to fill up every nook and cranny. So, and they've told us, if you go to the third one down, community has no available land for new development. They are built out. Only option is tear down and build new. So that's what they told us. That was our suggestion.
Mhm.
So whose suggestion? Is this the state or is this Wasatch Front? Did we take this from the state?
Nope, this is not taken from the state.
This is Wasatch Front?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying that just kind of disturbs us a little bit,
Mhm.
is that it wants to tear down $250,000 homes. I mean, we have some older 5,000 square foot lot with older homes and it's tear down and you're not gonna build one for less than 350 or 400,000.
Yeah,
I don't know what they, we're fighting with that all the time, you know.
Yeah.
What do you want, what more do you want us to do on that? So, I don't know, just
we can add in like,
to make that,
something like, well, that's not always.
The market will drive some of that anyway. The market's gonna drive what sells and what bids. So
yeah.
you may not have a lot of control around a sale.
Yeah, but I tell you, we don't have any land. We've opened up all of our infill lots. We did an infill ordinance years ago to do all that, and we're putting, you know, condos and whatever in those infill lots. We're running out of infill lots, and
Mhm.
we have no more land, so that's their suggestion. It's like, oh, well, that's not, you know, that's
Well-
not too cool. What,
We can add a note that says like, which is not applicable in every
yeah,
community
yeah.
or something
Tear
like
down
that.
blighted
Well,
homes.
well, yeah, but they're not blighted yet.
Right,
That's the thing.
I'm just saying, if
People are, yeah, people are living there and happy and
it wouldn't apply to you because they're not.
a great start at
that's what I'm
homes.
saying, yeah, if that wouldn't apply to you because there's.
Yeah, so I don't know, that just,
And sometimes there are some areas where that makes sense
yeah,
to
right.
take something down and build up.
Well, yeah, they're all,
Yeah, you
if
may
you
not
got
have any other
half a
choice.
block of homes, they're all boarded up, sure, I agree.
If the market allows it.
Yeah. We got families and that's kind of just.
Yeah, we
different.
can
So
further
that's just one thing I just wanted to make
specify.
people aware of, that some of these ideas, their suggestions are not the best.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
Applicable.
Yeah,
Exactly.
not applicable, a lot of that in my situation.
So I had one observation, John, and that is Vernon was the only town that in the projection of population growth lost 8 individuals. I don't know if you noticed that or not. Who's leaving?
The one that's supposed to be my.
Well, you're one county.
I think you were the only one with the negative in front of the growth.
Hmm,
Yeah, I don't know that, I didn't like
You've
it.
got 8 people you need to point your finger at and say, you're not gonna go.
Well, I'm afraid, yeah, there's growth, I think, coming, but I think it's gonna be outside of our town limits in the county, which is even worse, because we have no control over it, but
Right next to
we
you.
know that there's one, about 5 miles outside of Vernon, there's about 80 acres down there that has a really good water supply, and the families put up for sale for 2.5 million, and everybody laughed because who'd pay that for farmland, but now there's a developer that's
Boom.
saying,
Yes.
holy cow, that's a
It's a bargain.
bargain. So
Uh,
so we're afraid that might, all of a sudden, you know, our population at that end of the valley would be doubled or so, but
Better start annexing.
all you do is annex trouble,
Yeah.
unless they've got something they can provide.
They don't want it.
yeah, and we get obviously the most accurate information, like for population and things when the census first is released. And then after that, it's kind of a long gap before we get super accurate information from that, and so from the
We're right in the
census,
middle right now.
yeah, we calculate percent change, and then we predict, you know, that trend is fairly consistent of what's happening, and so they probably lost from the census, and so like projected, and then we won't know for sure if that's actually the case until the census comes out, but we just stick with the same rate of change generally across the state.
So, and I've got one other thing on this, on a thick one.
Yeah, okay.
Look at that one, and this is one that I think we need to rewrite a little bit because we're trying to tell the state that this is way too difficult.
The application
The
process.
whole process is
Yeah.
way too difficult,
Mhm.
right? So let's look on I found out, we gotta look on the first page 5. Because there's a couple, the paging is off. messed up.
Oh, boy.
Look on the first page, 5. Right there, it
Go
says
from 8 to
outreach.
2.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna go to 8, then it's gonna go back to 2, so.
Here's 4.
So go to the first page 5, it says outreach. And it says, and this sounds really good, but I don't. Let me know if this is true, Christie. It says city and county representatives were encouraged to offer input. There were 27 local governments that can participate in the small city CDBG program, Wasatch Front Regional Council. And most of them play an active role, I guess.
Oh.
The entities that participate in CDBG in the last 5 years are listed below. However, there were a few that remain elusive. The reasons for this lack of participation vary, but we received feedback that the grants are too complicated, did not have sufficient staff. So it sounded like if you go to page 8, and you have that list,
Right on the back side
Yeah.
of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn your paper over.
Okay, there it is, okay, yeah.
5 to 8.
You should have seen me yesterday. I'm like, what? What's going on? Okay, so there's 27 of them. Do 27 of those really actively, as you said in that paragraph,
No, I was saying that there are 27 who are eligible,
who are eligible?
yeah, but that there are few that
18.
remain elusive.
There's 18 listed.
Those are 8.
Participate.
So these are the ones who have actively participated, and then the other ones are the elusive.
And actively participated does not mean they've got a grant.
Right,
It just means they've
yeah, they're
applied.
not grantees. Okay. Okay, just, yeah, I just wish we could.
The only thing I could say in the writing is that some of those that have actively participated have found that the applications too, as well as those others that haven't applied.
Yes.
I think it's very,
That's it, I
it's
don't
very
know.
restrictive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Talk about it every year. But I think you really have some good ideas this year.
Yeah, that might help,
Yeah,
you know.
So if you
And I
guys,
do
if you
think
guys can get
Madison
those
will-
through,
will be a great
Oh, yeah.
resource.
yeah, I wish, yeah.
We have a,
And I told Steph to reach out to Madison too. Obviously, it never happened.
Madison did let me know that she reached out, but she reached out and said, I can't open the application.
A little late. That's probably at 4:30.
I wonder on, just back to your paragraph there, Mark, on, I wonder if those last 2 sentences, you could even remove them. However, there are a few that remain elusive. Does that even matter in our report? Reason for lack of participation, I mean, who are you trying to send that message to?
So this gets submitted to the state, and then the state compiles all of these from all the AOGs and submits it to HUD. And HUD wants to know like how we are advertising and communicating with, yes, with all the,
Okay.
So is the application process governed by HUD or by the state? I always thought HUD was telling us how complicated it had to be.
yeah, HUD has a lot of rules, and the state tries not to impose additional rules, but like, for example, the newspaper posting. That's an additional rule, like HUD doesn't require that, it used to be
Get rid of that.
that the state. Everything that got posted to the public meeting notice website would also be published in the paper automatically. And then the state, I think last year. It was that they said no longer do we have to post in the newspaper. So then the public meeting notice stuff wasn't going to the newspapers. Which really threw me for me, but so now that's not missing. So this year we're gonna try and get rid of that.
Okay,
But Councilman Mayor, to your question, it's just showing like, we're doing our best to make sure that everyone who can be involved. Has the opportunity to be involved.
and you say that stronger, that people are saying it's too hard, we're not ever gonna do it again.
Yeah.
I've heard people, you know, we're
I
not
know,
gonna do that again.
Stockton said they'll never be.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
know,
mean, it's
poor
like-
Mayor Melly.
Yeah.
You know, so. It's
Wife
just
has
tough.
cancer and he's fine, yeah, it's a mess.
So I don't know, just try to in there to
The
make,
word elusive was a little bit strong. It's kind of like they're trying to avoid us.
They're hiding from us.
Yeah, maybe you can change that
Okay.
word.
yeah. Yeah, just say, yeah.
Pissed off.
Even better.
There you go, that's not,
I'm sorry.
that's not quite as strong as it used to.
No, everyone is getting really burned out from everything that's going on, and so we're really trying. to Make it easier, okay.
Can't blame you this time.
Well, if anyone wants to make any motions for those with the noted, comments.
Okay, I would make a motion that we approve those two. But that you go through and double check the paging on both of them. I think the smaller one is okay, I think. But I'm thoroughly confused on the big one, the 5-year Chinese plan.
I
thick
will second Mark's motion.
Okay, all in favor?
I,
one. Aye.
Alright, I think I heard everybody. Hey, how's it going?
how are you doing? Good. See you soon.
Okay, and then last but not least, Michelle, for you online, the confidentiality conflict of interest was included in the email. If you get a chance to just e-sign that and send it to me.
Yeah, I have it. I'll scan it and email it to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, just that like. You don't benefit from the outcome of the awards, in any way. So these are the 3 applications that we got. So on the bright side, we don't have to tell anybody, no, you didn't get any funding. On the downside, oh, and this is updated from the one that was online. One of the formulas didn't carry over correctly on
Oh,
the funding
okay.
amount, but I got that fixed. So Rochelle, the one you have is a little outdated, it says we have like 200,000 remaining, but we actually have 518,000 remaining. That's a lot. I do, and I know I said this last year, but with our updated limits and Madison coming to help with the smaller communities, I do think we'll be able to get our money spent better next year. Grantsville had another project in the works they wanna work on, so does Marion Slaterville, heard from them, so.
Okay,
And
so on there, Christie, you still have 63% match for Washington Terrace. I think all the other numbers are correct.
That should have been a carryover.
Should be
too.
38%, right?
Okay, yeah,
But it looks like all the other numbers are correct, is that
yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm trying to make it easier for me and like use a formulated spreadsheet and still
Never
still
trust
working
them.
out the kinks.
Never trust them. So now the big question is, where does that 518,000 go?
Back into the state pot.
And where will that go?
It will be divided through the formula again next year and back through the AOGs.
So we will get a little bit of that
Yeah.
back.
We'll get more of it back than any of the other AOGs.
Okay, and I
Yeah.
noticed that's part of a discussion on the agenda for the next
Oh,
month's meeting. We
okay.
already got that from, what's his name?
What's Twilla County?
Forgot his name.
This Twilla County one with the star on it.
Oh, that is,
Is it a second year or something?
that's the, I don't know why that asterisk is there, but, we get that every year as a pass through Tooele County for just money and admin, so that's for WFRC.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's up on the top every single year.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I had a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So Mark, on Washington Terrace,
Yeah.
a original request of the 23 and then a allocation of, 240 plus. Why would we give more allocation than what was requested?
That's outdated.
Oh, so yeah, you've got that's the one I already called her on. Look at that other one. That one right there. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so that's cool.
It's corrected. Yeah, please give us.
Yeah.
That's what I told her. I begged her on the phone. She wouldn't.
So I passed the test.
Yeah, you did, you looked
Yeah,
at
you
that,
did.
you passed it to me.
The other one's question, it's not a big deal, but just for kind of like your dollar sign kind of different conversation. On the scoring, the item number 4 says poverty.
Mhm.
Is that the same as LMI?
Mhm.
I'd suggest we use LMI, it just sounds better. And then it matches up with our plan.
I totally agree.
And in poverty, I don't know if it's a real. Well, use,
Oh, I know all about
should we put a picture of John next to
it.
that?
Exactly. We don't need to change it.
And here's a definition.
Yeah, and then A through B just refers to, and maybe you already know this, because it's in a rating ranking, but. like A is beneficiaries that are 30% and below AMI, and then B is 50% and below, C 80% and below, and then.
Yeah.
Alright.
What's capacity?
So, thank you for bringing that up. When I meet with the state in a couple of weeks, the state actually scored that. And it's based on previous grant management of the cities and stuff like that, just, yeah.
They handle their money well.
Yep. So these scores might change a little bit, but I'm assuming that each one will have either 5 added to it or Grantsville, which again is another update.
Unless they find a date wrong or something. Cause I was on there once and it
I
was
know.
approved on this list.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
they found the
Right.
date wrong and
Oh.
taken away.
That would be another benefit as it is February, by then hopefully it will be used to the new year.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be good.
That's one more update to that didn't carry over from my score sheet. It listed Wendover as number 3 applicant, but it's actually Grantville. Which is exciting, and this is the first time I've seen Grantville come through in my days here, yeah. So that's exciting. And then one thing that we'll talk about, in May, when we're updating our policies and procedures, we had added this. Not last year, but the year before, contingency in there, and then the state came back and told me, oh, I know we told you that you could do that, but actually you can't. And now they're saying, no, actually you can, it just needs to be in your policies and procedures. And the main difference is that it needs to be applied for. So there's like a budget line item in the application that you can call out as contingency. And so then we'll just like say allow up to like 10%, so maybe it won't be spent. The risk you run is like, if it's a competitive year, you're taking money away from those below you. But if it's not spent, maybe it can be reallocated down the line, but anyway,
Is it a percentage?
yeah, that's what we had in there before, I think it was up to 10%.
How many?
Up to 10%. Of your CDBG ask. Any other questions or comments on this?
Christian, that's right. I think I know, I'm sure I know the answer, but. He's talking about LMI, and as we do those, if necessary, we do those surveys. Knock on doors,
Yeah,
that's a state. Is that a state or is that a HUD?
that's a HUD requirement.
That's a HUD.
Yeah.
So that questionnaire that I took out, I went and did some this year. God, there's gotta be a better way. People don't trust anybody anymore.
Yeah, why would you talk to somebody who's not gonna?
Yeah, why would you talk to
What's your look?
a city leader that wants?
Yeah.
But then,
I don't know if Amy told you, but 2 of them weren't filled out, they just wanted to
Yeah,
cut you off the mark.
I know, we had to go back.
Yeah.
I went out one evening and. I mean, I looked at the form, it just, there's nothing to it. It's basically how many people live in your house and where is your income in between here and here? And put it in this envelope and seal it and nobody knows where it came from. Please sign, no, I'm not, no. I'll leave it with you, and I'll come back tomorrow and pick it up. Never leave. I hope that's something maybe we talk about it next month,
Yes,
because that's, oh my gosh,
yeah,
knocking on 40.
Maybe between some, needs to be some conversation with HUD between now and next month, is what it sounds like, because HUD's got to realize too, that people are just not as neighborly as they once were, and then to be willing to fill out paperwork with their signature.
well, and especially trusting in the government,
Yeah.
Exactly, no one trusts the government anymore.
Yeah.
Realize but don't care.
yeah,
And
Yeah, but they don't care.
like I say, they don't have to sign it, their name's not anywhere on it. It's the simplest little form I've ever seen and they put it back in an envelope and they can seal it, and nobody ever, that's why we don't know if they really did it.
yeah, exactly,
Send it down to you and, what?
yeah.
Open up some blank ones. Up.
Yeah, open up a couple places, we had to go back out again.
Yeah, I think what you did was great of like putting it in the newsletter, just like,
God, yeah, here's what we're doing, if somebody knocks on your door in the
Yeah.
city.
and I think
Yeah.
education is a good idea, piece of it of like. And no one reads the public notice website or the public notices in the newspaper, so it's like they don't come to the public hearing, so then they don't know, but. You know, even just posting something on your Facebook page, it's like, hey, in the past, you know, Washington Terrace is taking advantage of the CDBG program, this is what the CDBG program is, and like. If you've ever been income surveyed or whatever, you know, like. That income helped us pay for this park improvement or whatever, you know, like.
I mean, it turned out fantastic. I mean, it made me rethink the way I kind of run my city because you see, one of the surveys was 75% low to moderate income. And then the other one came back like 61% or 60%. So I've got to rethink how I, you know, when I'm thinking about doing truth and taxation or something like that. Our people just can't afford too much. Or, you know, so it was kind of nice. It was kind of neat to do it and to see that, but I don't ever want to. It's not easy.
I know, well, that's
There's
what,
gotta be a better way. There's
that's
gotta
what
be,
we're, Mayor Melly ran into, he broke his back going out there and getting all these surveys. And then it did not meet the standards and.
yeah. God. Gee, that's, what do you,
So like, when people do a census, they get all that information.
I know it.
Why can't we use census?
I know it.
They do. Broadly,
This
so,
for a specific improvement in a specific neighborhood.
well, my understanding of the census is that not every household is surveyed for the census, so it's kind of a sample size. And so
I
for,
thought everyone had, everyone had to fill out a census.
Yeah, but we're a sample size. You give us
right.
15, 16 homes and
Mhm.
we have to go to those specific addresses, so.
So for a community-wide survey, that's how we also conduct it, it's a sample size, you're not
Oh.
surveying everyone in the community, it's
Right.
a fraction of that, but for a site specific, where it's like, we know these are
Right.
beneficiaries, then you have to sort of. And so it's different, but previously, before this last census came out, did determine that all of Washington Terrace is meets the low LMI threshold, and Vernon, you guys do too, and that is through the census that we know that.
Okay.
And there's a HUD map that maps and tells you kind of vaguely what it is.
So he wouldn't have had to do the survey.
That, when the census updated, it took him off the list.
I was on the list for 12 years.
So who moved in that was rich?
Yeah, exactly. 3 people moved.
Who knocked down some of those homes and built them?
Yeah, that's right. Built a couple mansions there.
Um,
I mean, we gotta be so darn close. It's,
however, even if HUD says that your community is already in, like yours is, if you were to do a site specific project, you would still need to do the survey.
Understood.
Main Street is community project, so you don't need to do that, but because the census doesn't.
Side roads where the only benefits are people that
Yeah.
have to do a survey.
Yeah.
We understand. 4 people on the street have to.
wow.
Find some poor people.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
it's tough.
yeah.
It's tough.
Mhm.
That's why larger cities don't go for $250,000.
Oh, yeah.
If they put in that much work, they expect a few million.
Yeah,
They spent 300.
Yeah, they have 10 staff, you know?
Yeah.
We got 3 staff that just work their guts out, but they do it, I don't know.
yeah, we did have one project this year who went through, did a survey, a community-wide survey, and didn't meet the criteria.
Went below 51%?
It actually came back as 12%, so it was for the North Tooele Fire District. They wanted to buy a new fire truck. And their district is weird, it's like serves Grantsville, Lake Point,
Stansbury,
Oh, well, Stansbury kind of.
Stansbury had to push that.
pushed it.
Yeah, so they compiled all of their addresses for all the communities that they served, and then a randomized list was conducted, and they were like, we must have hit every gated community, like, it was random. Yeah, so like,
Oh, gosh.
they came back like, and oh man, like, it was a lot of surveys. That one was not that many, I guess, I think they got like 26 or something, but anyway, yeah, they came back 12%.
See, so they'll never be back again.
Well, no, they said we're gonna try again next year
Really?
and have a new randomized list and hopefully we don't hit every gated
Wow, well,
community.
good for them.
Yeah,
Good for
I
them.
know, and they have the firefighters go do, like, they every year they do caroling already, they go out. And so they were like combining those forces, like knocking on doors, caroling, and they also.
There you go.
There you go.
Get
If I
yourself
start singing,
singing.
say, get that crap, get off my porch, where do I sign? Get out of here.
Exactly.
That's the worst voice I've
Sing
ever
bad
heard.
enough that they'll just wanna get rid of you.
There you go.
They
Yeah,
really,
we're gonna sing until you fill out the survey.
That's right.
they really handed them the survey,
I don't think that's how they did every single one, but that's,
you know, some of.
yeah,
Oh
from
my
what I
gosh.
understand.
How firefighters do it? I don't know. People
I know
trust
that
firefighters now?
In the
Oh,
past, they
Yes,
had like
I guess
Boy
if you-
Scouts go out and do it, like,
Yeah.
someone really unassuming.
Someone in a uniform and it
Yeah.
looks good.
How can you turn down a Girl Scout
Yeah.
in uniform?
Box of cookies and a
It's
survey.
more-
No cookies unless you fill out the survey.
I'll give you a box of cookies
Yeah,
if
there
you
you
fill
go.
out the survey.
Yeah, Girl Scouts. There you
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, there you go, even better. We're getting even, I don't know.
yeah, but
I don't know, it's
I can't imagine, I can't imagine.
It's frustrating.
Have them fill out and get a ticket for a free box of
There you go,
cookies
see?
or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jump the hoops.
All right, so with the couple amendments to the fourth criteria and the match percent, does anyone wanna make an motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve with those changes that Christie just mentioned.
I'll second.
Okay. Great, well, I'll let you know if there's any,
We need to
if
vote
the
on
state
that.
comes back and found the typo
Yeah,
or
all in favor,
something.
say aye.
Oh, sorry, yeah, all in favor.
Aye.
Thank you, yes, if there's typo and we all hell breaks loose, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that'll be a hard part. I could.
Here to go back, was A2,
I have no explanation for that.
Christie was,
3, 4.
Christie let her little son, 6-month-old, do it. He's
Staple this together.
really,
Yeah, and that's impressive, he's 6 months old. so-
That's right, yeah.
You got a whiz kid.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, meeting is adjourned. Take that. Oh, wait, who's doing,
We meet in May,
I get the sign back from all of us?
Sign?
the.
See you go.
Oh, that thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I gotta turn that in. I thought I could. Turn it away.
You signed it, didn't you?
I signed it.
Sorry.
There you go.
Meeting date.
Yes, our next meeting date is May, the third Tuesday in May.
Tuesday, May. Only, I already got it on
Is
there.
it 20?
20.
20th,
20.
it's already on there.
Already on there. Look at us.
Christie's already put it up there.
Well, not only gonna be Andrea posts them at the beginning of every year.
Yeah, she's
She's
good.
on it. On it.
And we meet next month on March 20th.
Mhm.
Well, I hope we get, so we'll know by May whether these were approved then. Application changes and stuff that we're talked about, that you talked.
Oh, yeah, yep. Mhm.
Oh, yeah, those.
Yeah.
I got those meeting. Well, but you guys will discuss it.
I had one
ALG
council
is
member,
discuss it.
every year we kind of, sometimes we rotate, sometimes it stays the same, what their committees do, what they're gonna be in charge of, I had one guy, so this last time I said, okay. It's a year ago, so before I assign what you go over, I said, just rank them from one, so I can see what you're, sometimes give everyone what they're interested
Yeah.
in, that's great. And one guy says, I'll do anything, but if you put me in charge of grants, I quit.
The ones-
And I asked him, I said, hey, that was pretty funny, though, it wasn't.
It wasn't funny.
It wasn't a joke.
Okay. You're not doing great.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys.
have fun in Mexico.
Thanks, Christy.
Thank you, I will.
I know you will.
Yeah.
Bye, Michelle.
All right, see everybody in May.
All right,
Yeah,
travel safe.
so we got,
Okay.
How
Let me,
many more people are supposed to be here?
well,
Stephanie
I goes down Weaver County representative, but he didn't make it.
and Josh.
2 more.
Gosh.
Or, yep, 75.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Parking.
Yep. Yep. Nope, you just drive right out.
Oh, my goodness.
What we got here? 2 hours or 3 hours?
Well, you got a Coke Zero, but I got a cold one. Let me put that.
Yeah.
I'll put that back in there.
Thank
Well,
you.
that's still pretty quick.
Good.